still needed to do the things we needed to do to grow our business. So after work, we would do our contacting, we would do our meetings, we would spend, our hours in Paneras, and then we would come home, pack up our stuff and everything. And so since there was mold everywhere, we were, trying to clean things off before we took it to our new apartment. So I was outside, it was probably midnight. I'm wearing, the respirator mask, leaf blowing all of our belongings. But we didn't care because, we knew it was just part of our story. We knew like, this is insane, but that's okay. And so, yeah, we moved to our next apartment. And then that one we were in for about 6 weeks, because right after we moved all of our stuff into that apartment, we found out that that apartment just happened to be infested with bed bugs.
Oh,
yeah. So that was a surprise.
Yep, and they tried treating it. They tried treating it like 2 or 3 times. They kept coming back. So we were like, all right, if we can't fit it in the dryer, if we can't clean it, it's staying. So we basically had everything in pest-proof bins. She sprayed them down before putting them in the moving truck. At least it was an easy move,
Yes,
So,
we did not bring any of our furniture with us, so we lost many of our belongings. We stayed in a hotel.
Now you guys had to have been in the business at that time, 2019, probably your first year, maybe a year and a half into the business, correct?
Yep.
Oh yeah, we were not in the business very long. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I want everybody that's on this to see their smile. Because everything they go through, they smile through it. And that's a whatever it takes attitude. They weren't going to let bed bugs, mold, not having a place to sleep, and I'm sure you were inspired by Paulson and Sulai Ford's talk also. And, I know their story. And for the majority of us all, we never really had to go homeless. And we never really had to go look for a place to stay because we had nowhere to go. And, but yet you got that job done. I've seen people on the team with, incredible incomes, beautiful homes, apartments, etc., and didn't accomplish yet what you've accomplished, despite the fact of what you've gone through. So for all of you on this, they should give you inspiration that no matter what your challenges are, smile through it and keep working. Keep your eye focused on the goal. Right, Ann?
Well, they use their challenges as motivation to get out of there. That's great.
That's exactly right.
Good for you.
Hey, can I ask it? Let's see. Let's ask Joe and Jen. How about you guys? What did you go through going Eagle? Any story you can tell that may inspire somebody out there?
So when we started building our business, and it was really a decision Joe made, and I kind of went along kicking and screaming because we lived in a 600 square foot apartment. We just had a brand new baby. We had $900 of minimum monthly payment of student loans, and we could barely pay our bills. And Joe was like, I don't care if we don't pay our student loans. We're going to do ditto. And we're going to be on all the technology we need to build our business. And back then we had to buy our own lit packs and all that stuff. So I really laugh when people don't understand the value that the BSM subscription unlimited provides, because they really just haven't experienced that. But we had a lot of ridiculousness in our life, and we were struggling. Joe was working 2 jobs. I worked 2 jobs until I was 8.5 months pregnant. My boss told me I needed to go home, and that's where we started building our business. And it wasn't easy, but I feel like the struggle for us really motivated us to move on, because Joe kept saying, no, the answer is our business. The answer is our business. Our business is not the problem. Our business is the answer. And the problem that most people face is when they get in tough times, they want to blame the business for it. And the business isn't the problem. You were going to have problems whether you were in business or not. The business is the solution, in my humble but yet accurate opinion.
Wow. That's a huge nugget.
Yep.
Yeah. And, maybe you're somebody out there who's been in the business for a while. And, Jen says that's when we started. That's when we started building.
Yeah.
It wasn't when we started. We'd actually been in the business for probably 4 years. And, you know, we weren't really fully honoring a partnership. You know, we were excited, we were coming to meetings, but, you know, we weren't really, you know, digging into ourselves, working on
Can I
ourselves.
ask you what flipped the switch?
Yeah, it was really, you know, maturity that took place, and seeing some folks in my peer group move on. There's a few folks that were cross-line to us, in our good friends of ours, Brand New Golds and Eagle Pluses, Jamal and Roxana's group, that had hit a new level. And I remember just very distinctly, I was sitting in an open meeting. It was February of 2012, and it just welled up inside of me. And I just remember listening to Vinny Pappalardo's The Atmosphere of a Winning Team, and he just said this quote, this statement that just resonated with me. And I listened to that CD every single week, nonstop, from Zero to Eagle, because it just spoke to me. And he said I just couldn't sit in the audience and not be growing and not be edified for growth and not moving on. It just spoke to me in a very special way. And I just said, all right, it's time to commit. And I changed my goal. I was always going out there to find people to grow my business. And I said, I can't find people to grow my business. I need to grow myself. I need to become a master at this. I need to make it a career. And when I shift my focus, it was amazing the type of people that, you know, got attracted to us. And in that first year, you know, we sponsored our 3, you know, largest organizations that are still with us today and moving on in a major way. And all 3 of those organizations are setting themselves up to go Eagle here this year. And it's awesome, but
That's
we didn't
the
know that back then.
identity of your emerald ship right there. And, you know, each of you that are on tonight that are listening to that, see, one of you have got to rise up out of the audience, one of you. And when you do, and you join this elite club, and you go from 3 to 4 to 5 lakes to Eagle, then Eagle Plus and Double Eagle, imagine the wave you're going to create for all those that are in the same category you're in right now. Remember, you're an example, each and every one of you. I like to know, I know, you know, we're running low on time, so I'm going to ask Joe and Roxy. You know, Joe, Roxy, you guys, you got the hammer down. Like, what can you, you know, what tip can you give everyone sitting out there? Like, if you had to take a few minutes, just, you know, maybe 2-3 minutes, what could you tell everyone sitting out there?
I think some of the hurdles that we've gone through is we've had to block out a lot of the negativity around us with friends and family, especially. You know, when we first started this business, they would make fun of us. You know, at work, they called me the Amway girl, you know, and because I talked to everybody about the opportunity or the products, and, you know, John's brother would make fun of us as well. And, you know, I would just say, just block that out, because the people that are coming against you, it's not their fault. They just don't know any better, but you know better because you've been part of the BWW system. If you've been to one function, then you know better, right? And so just have belief in yourself, have belief in the system, and just block out the negativity and fill yourself with the positivity of the BWW system. And once you do that, you'll be unstoppable. Yeah.
Just to add to that, you got to remember is that the less you are like those people, the more they're going to dislike you, because it's not, they don't resent your courage. They resent their own fear, and you're a threat to them, because you're a threat because they either got to grow themselves to be with you, or they got to try to drag you back down to where they are. And, you know, always remember that, keep that strong. But for me, I had to hold myself accountable. You know, Dennis was talking about the calendar, because what happens is if you're not tracking it, I have this thing called the mirror technique, and in the mirror, I write down every day. And I'm a champion, so I'm not going to let, if I don't get a DTM one day, how many zeros am I going to let go? And what happens is, if you're not tracking, sometimes you get frustrated, and that frustration makes you think you're actually doing the work because you're stressed. So if you're not tracking it, you maybe think you're doing the work, but you're just frustrated. And frustration causes victimization, which causes exaggeration. So now you're frustrated, I'm mad, I'm ticked off, and now you're the victim. Everything, you know, I've done this and nothing ever works for me, and now you're exaggerating. I showed 100 plans and nothing happened. Okay, and that's what frustration causes. So if you're not tracking it, you don't know. Maybe that stress that you're coming from, that's coming to you, is not coming from the actual work. It's coming from being busy in the wrong things. And that's where it comes to the ultimate, most important thing, is the mentorship. And mentorship in itself is something you have to learn how to do right. I did. And I am so blessed to be able to have earned the mentorship of Angelo and Claudia Nardone. And I'm telling you, and just like Charlie said, anytime, even right now, some of you, as soon as the function started, you were ready to go out in DTM. Some of you on break, I know I did, went on break and went out in DTM. But why do we have to wait for this external motivation? Okay, pick up the phone and call your mentor, but earn that. It's not about just saying, how's the day? But sometimes even me and Angelo, we'll talk about cars and motorcycles, and that amps me up because I want to go be with Angelo. I want to spend time with the people I respect. I'm not concerned about losing friends. See, because you're never going to lose real friends. You will only lose imposters that pretended to be your friends. And when those leave, you'll be better off for it.
Wow. Woo, that was a heavy. Boom. Luz, what tip can you give everyone out there?
Yeah, I would just say, obviously you want to have high expectations for yourself, but you also want to manage your expectations. Sometimes we think we're doing so much work and we're not doing a lot of work. You also want to try to minimize and manage your distractions. And there's good distractions and there's bad distractions. And, the most dangerous distractions are really the ones you love, but they don't love you back. Right. And we all have things and skeletons that we have to work through and emotional wounds, but you have to go ahead and face those things, because if you allow your distractions to take you off course, it could take you some time to bounce back. So you really need to go ahead and unsubscribe your distractions.
So they need to stay on purpose.
Yes.
Gotcha. Excellent. Wow. These are great tips. Everyone up here, they are qualified or re-qualified at Double Eagle. These are great tips, guys. How about, let's say, Josh and Elena? What tip, from guys that are in the business, 2.5, maybe 2 3/4 years, and you're Double Eagles, 12 honoring partner legs. What tip can you give everyone with that we can leave them with?
Yeah, I would say when life gets hard, push harder, lean in harder. Life is going to happen whether you're in this business, whether you're out of this business, and challenges are going to arise, and you just need to push harder. You need to push through those challenges, because
people at the gas station. So it was all about pushing through, and we always kind of felt like we were in the right place, like we were supposed to be there, because we just knew we were gonna be better off if we kept going. Because Kim and Gary really helped us focus on that. There's a reason for it.
Wow, big nuggets. I like the kept going part. That consistency, in my opinion, is everything. You just got to keep going. Even when it hurts, you got to just keep pressing on, keep moving forward. That's the key. And so let's have Joe and Jen. How about some tips that you can leave everyone with?
I would just say that, number one, just continue to work on yourself. 2020 has been a year of just going down to foundation for Joe and I, and it's been challenging, but it's been great. And the other thing that I would say is be intentional, because just like you said, Charlie, you need to live on purpose and not off purpose. Joe and I have 2 little girls, and we live a great family life, but we also maintain our focus on our business because we want to leave a legacy for them. And when people tell me they don't have enough time to do everything, whether it's career or family, that's not the case. The case is that they're not managing and doing what they need to do with their time, in my opinion. And they're trading the ability to be unintentional, and they like the spontaneity of being unintentional more so than they're willing to go after a goal and a dream and a purpose. And so, I have a lot of 6-figure earner professional friends who are just well, I'm really busy, but you see them going here on the weekends and you see them going there on the weekends. And the reality is you have time for what you want to make purposeful in your life.
Yeah.
Excellent. I got one question for you. I see a lot of couples in the business, and they rely, I notice that a lot of the women rely, not all, a lot of, but it is a large amount that rely on just the guy getting out there making connections to grow their legacy. But yet they call themselves a partnership. Can I ask, do you make connections also? Do you add to that with?
Yes, sir. I have always loved what we used to call the 4 basics. It makes me feel like I am a business owner. And I used to tear down other women who did it, and I repent for that. I think that you can have whatever purpose and journey you want in your business, but as for Jennifer Santamarina, I always want to be an active grower of our organization.
An active grower. I like that. That really basically describes it. And I know, Luz, you're out there doing that. There's no question about that. Roxy, Elena, do you add a lot to the with? Are you out there making those connections as well?
Absolutely. And I mean, as a couple, we actually really enjoy contacting together. We really, really enjoy spending our time together. Both of our love languages are quality time. So oftentimes when we do go out and contact, if our schedule allows, we'll do it together.
Yeah.
But if our schedule doesn't allow, we are both, 100% in this business.
And she keeps us on track. I can introduce, I can make interruptions, but she actually connects with the people a lot of the times.
Great. Excellent.
And that's the big thing. That's why we love doing it together. It works for us. Everybody's different, but it works for us.
Hey, look, if you're a couple, it helps you get from where you are to where you want to be that much quicker. You have double the energy there.
Yeah.
And I know, let's go back over to Joe Marina. I know you were going to give us a tip that we can, basically walk away with tonight. So can we hear your tip that you would recommend, suggest, something you want to come at everyone with from your heart?
Yeah, sure. So, I feel like, if you're on this, night out tonight, you've got somewhere, between 3 or more legs. And I just think that, just like Charlie said, and, you just want to be intentional and be on purpose. For us, we just made our life very simple. And because we wanted to live on purpose, we took all the things that we wanted now and said, do we really want that now, or do we want what we really want later? And we just made a decision. And one of the biggest things for us as we started to add in more legs and started to get up towards 5, 6, and 7 legs, and we just started to reserve and protect time for our own personal width, so that we didn't ever get stuck and we could really treat our people. I just believe that I want to give the best to our people, and the only way I could trust myself to give them my best is to not need them. Bobby Harris told us, hey, Joe, believe in everybody, but don't depend on anybody. And the best way I thought to do that was to have lots of legs that I could serve, so that, I could give them my best and not need them to move on for my business to move on.
Wow, that was a big nugget right there, guys. I hope you all caught that one. Believe in everyone, but don't depend on anyone. And so, I just want to say thank you so much, guys, for sharing with us. I want to congratulate and commend each and every one of you that are on tonight with 3 legs. That is an accomplishment. And, those with 4 legs, it's a little bigger of accomplishment than if you have 5. And for those of you that have qualified Eagle, well, that's an accomplishment that's a whole lot bigger than falling short with 5 and below. And for those of you that have gone to 6 and 7 and 8, I want to commend you. But 9 would put you in the Eagle Plus category. So you got to always look to the next level, always stretch yourself. And for those of you that have 10 legs or possibly 11, Well, 12 is Eagle Plus. Keep going. I want to encourage you, keep going wide. These 4 couples, plus you have Tyler and Brittany Madison also, who are requalified Eagle, double Eagle. All 5 of these couples haven't done anything that you cannot do. They've only done what you have not done. They kept the pressure on when it looked like nothing was happening. And they were going through their dry spells. They stayed in communication constantly with their upline, and they were willing to take whatever adjustments their upline was going to recommend to them. Had it been with their personality, had it been with possibly their appearance, had it been with whatever, maybe it's with their relationship, whatever it may be, every one of these couples took it to heart and made change. They may have not liked hearing what they had to hear, but they appreciate hearing it because it's what they needed to hear. And it's what they needed to hear so that they can move on in their business. It's not those big adjustments that make the difference. It's a little, it could be something that is so unnoticeable, and bam, it makes a major difference. You know, one of my favorite groups, actually my favorite group's the Beatles, and they actually have 309 hits in 7 years. I'm going to let that sink in. I don't know if in our time we'll ever see anyone produce that much music that were hits. 309 in 7 years. And it wasn't like they're individually, they're amazing musicians. It wasn't like their music was so intricate and complicated and complex. It was exactly the reverse. They were just very simple musicians, and their music was very basic and simple. And sometimes it's not the complexity, it's the little things that make the masterpiece, what the masterpiece actually is. And I want to recommend to every one of you that are on this right now with 3+ legs, the one thing I want to suggest and recommend for you to do is set up an appointment with your upline. With your growing upline, platinum and above, preferably an emerald and above, have your group drawn out, bring your calendar on Zoom, and discuss your game plan. And then stay in communication so they get to know you, so they could adjust you, because they can adjust you if they don't know you. And before you leave at that council session, make sure 4 weeks from that date, you have the next council session in your calendar. And do that from month to month to month to month, and relentlessly do not let up. And put the emphasis on them to adjust you, but take it in and don't take it to the offense. Take it to heart and make the adjustment. Work on it every day. We need, on the BWW team, we need diamonds breaking. We need those of you sitting out there in the audience, we need you to rise up. We need you to take your calendar out, and wherever you got on that calendar, any empty boxes anywhere on that calendar, fill it in. We need you to get out of your comfort zone. For those of you that may be in your comfort zone, get out of your home. Put your mask on. It's not just about social media connections. Get out and go have some conversations. Go where there's people. Go to a Home Depot like I've done many times. I bought an $8 item, went home, went back the next day and returned it, just so I could be around people and make those connections. Think creatively. We need you to rise up, put in the structure, get the width, drive the depth, and we need diamonds breaking in this BWW organization. The pressure is the pressure we put upon ourselves. I ask that you stretch yourself, and when you hit your limit, create a new limit. And don't stop. Keep going and stay on purpose. Don't deviate. Don't drift. Stay on purpose. Don't become complacent. Don't read your press clippings. Stay on purpose. Stay hungry. Stay in communication with your upline and keep driving it. Keep going. Keep driving it. Keep putting in the width. No matter what you do, you can always do more. And the end result is diamond and above. Every one of you have that capability. It's just a decision, then a commitment to the decision, then identify the activities that you have to commit to, and then stay on purpose. Don't do any activity that will take you off purpose. God bless you guys. We love you. We're so proud of each and every one of you. We want to encourage you to come on with the rest of these double eagles and above. And double eagles, thank you so much for sharing from your heart. We appreciate you. Don't read your press clippings. I was going to ask you all, when are you going Emerald? But I'm not going to do that. Hope you got that date in your mind. We need you moving on and showing the rest of the team that Emerald is right there with that double eagle. Stay focused. Drive those 3 legs. Get them over and keep going wide. Chew gum and walk at the same time. God bless you guys. We love you. It is hammer time, right?